Hello everyone, and welcome back to PC Guys Off-Grid Cabin, where the work is never done and we're doing it just for fun. Hey, it's snowing! It's snowing at PC Guys Cabin! So, let me bring you up to date on a little bit of what's been going on up here, other than snow. It's snowing its butt off right now. We got up here yesterday morning, and we knew this was coming, and we did not have any of that, very much of that metal on the roof, so it was extremely important to get as much done as possible because we were pushing the clock. So we didn't shoot any video of us putting the rest of that metal up there on the roof. So
we waited to wait video in the snow today.
So we waited until it was snowing its butt off to do a video. Hey, snow's a big deal for us. We don't get a lot of snow in Texas. So I'm going to take you inside and we'll show you a few of the things that we've been doing. All right. So we got some of our siding on the back side put in here. We still got to do one section over there. We did have a little bit of a mess up that we didn't know about until yesterday when we started putting our window in, because I screwed up and I bought two windows that were they were sliders that slide sideways. That was not something we wanted to put in here, so we took them back to Lowe's, and then we went back there and we talked with the guy in the window section, and he didn't have another two windows that would fit in the same hole. So I got out here this morning, took 6 inches off this board, lowered this one down because the window that we bought was the same width, but 6 inches taller. So when you take and you build with screws like we did, and then you got to all of a sudden go back and make a change, it's a whole lot easier to go back and make a change when you can just back screws out, as opposed to you nailed it in, now you got to dig all that stuff out. So that's one of the reasons I really like to use screws as opposed to nails on this framing. It just makes your job a lot easier. Tomorrow's forecast is the sun's supposed to come back out. Now, yeah, we could get in here and work right now, even though it's snowing. There's just one little problem. When you're off-grid and you're doing your projects with solar power, you're not going to get no sun. And so our batteries are pretty well flat right now, and we can't be firing up those saws or any drills or anything else while the batteries are that flat. You know, it's kind of like your bank account. You can only take out what you put in. If it ain't there, you can't take it out. And we don't want to damage our batteries by over discharging them. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stop the video right now. We'll pick it up again tomorrow when that sun comes back out, and we'll reframe this window here, and we'll get the rest of the siding up on this building. So stay tuned. once in a blue moon. Snows won't stick.
Boy, he's having a rough time getting that snow off of him.
You say something?
Yeah, I said you were having a rough time getting that snow off of him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got to do this because the batteries are really flat right now. And you don't want to over discharge in batteries on that solar, which is why I got the generator over there running right now, because I want to get some more work done in there with the cabin, but we ain't gonna be using no solar right now to be doing this. It's one of the joys of doing off-grid solar is that these panels covered up, you ain't gonna get no daggum power. Probably ain't the best tool in the world to be using for this, but I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I never thought I'd have to be doing this.
Nope. Not in Texas. How much? How much snow would you say we got?
About 4 inches.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm going to zoom around to show you part of the property that's currently under about 3 to 4 inches of snow.
You can tell us Texas people aren't accustomed to taking and dealing with snow on the ground like this. Now, if you live up north where somewhere like, say where Chad and Shelby at North Country Off-Grid live, they deal with this every winter. We deal with it maybe once every 5 or 6 years. And it's been about that long since I've seen any snow until last night. So let us get set up inside and we'll start working here. Alright, so the original window that we intended to put in here was 23.5 inches tall. So when we swapped them out, the new window is 29.5 inches. So what we got to do is we got to shorten this board by 6 inches and then move this board down so that the new window will fit in here the way that we intend it to. And with this board being screwed in from the bottom, we can't just up and take this thing out of here. But I got a little plan here to cheat and cut it without having to take it out of the wall. Whoops. So what I'm gonna do, I've got a piece of scrap lumber here. I'm gonna run this piece of scrap lumber across here like this and screw it in there, and that will hold this board in position while I make a cut on it. We had to do the exact same thing down on the other window that's down that way. Put one screw in each stud there, and it'll hold it in place while we make these changes. screw broke. Imagine what a pain in the rear this job would be if we'd have nailed all this stuff in here. That would have been a pain. I hope I can get in here on this screw. Yeah, I can. Uh-oh. We may have a problem here, because that board ain't wanting, that screw ain't wanting to come back out. That little old generator that we're using over there is kind of our, what I call our backup generator. The main one that we normally use is quite a bit more powerful. And it, well, it needs to go to the shop and be worked on because it's not wanting to start like it needs to. And we just ain't got around to doing it because we've been using mostly the solar. Solar's out of the question right now. Oof. But that old drill didn't have enough torque there, excuse me, to pull that screw back out. Yeah, it's about everything that that machine can do to take socky screws. That's why we don't use it very often, except as a backup unit. kind of a tight spot there. I may have to make a change here. That's all right, we can do that. I'm gonna find my pliers. I can't get this bit out of here. I think we're going to take a quick break here and send Mrs. PC Guy in there to go get me another bit, because I can't get this bit out. Alright guys, while Mrs. PC Guy was inside making breakfast for us and everything, I got out here and finished putting the rest of them screws in that window. Now, because this thing only has a little over 6 feet tall walls on it, we have to take each piece of siding and cut a section off like, well, as you see the stack of them over there. We took this piece of siding out there, fitted it up to the outside of the shed, and Mrs. PC Guy got in here and marked that opening on the siding so that we can rough cut the opening out of it. Now, it's going to be a little tedious because we actually have to cut this hole a little bit wider than the what the lines are on it, and I'll show you why over here. You see this lip right here? When we put the siding up here, we have to get that lip in behind this. So, you know, sometimes you learn lessons the hard way. It would have been really a lot easier if this window had been over here at the seam of the siding, so that you could just cut out the corner of it and slide it over, which is what we did on the front side, because the window was actually right in the middle of where the two pieces of siding came together. That wasn't an option here, okay? The reason being is that we want to put all that solar equipment down on this end of the building, and we plan on putting a wall right here. This area will be cordoned off from the rest of the addition. We'll use part of this for storage, and we'll put all the solar equipment in here. We wanted a window in this section, and I didn't want to put it on this wall because this wall faces due south. We didn't want that afternoon sun coming right through that window and heating this area up, you know, because that would be a bad thing. So really, when it came right down to it, there wasn't really any good solution to this problem other than doing it the way that we're doing it right now. Put the window in right here, and it'll face east in the morning. And then that way you don't have a bunch of sunlight hitting it in the afternoon and heating this area up. You don't want heat in here any more than you actually have to. You know, that equipment runs best when it's cool. So we're going to take and see what we can do about getting the rest of this thing marked out. My Mrs. PC Guy wants to throw the pencil on the floor beyond me. I told her not to do that. You know how women are. They don't want to listen to you.
Uh-huh.
wanted the viewers to see what I'm actually doing right here. If you notice where her lines are, this piece sticks over just a little bit. And it does the same thing over here. There's no good solution to it. That siding's not going to fit up there as tight as I'd like it to.
Mark
That crooked. I got that crooked.
You didn't mark the top up here either.
That was not my intention. I know I haven't marked that down there yet. That's what you get into. I'm just sitting here trying to tell you how to do it.
No, because he tends to forget.
Oh, is that what it is? No matter how you do this, I mean, ain't doing exactly what I want to do. You know, nobody came here expecting expert carpentry work, did they? Slide by you.
No.
I need it level. Oh,
No.
Is that what it is? Tell me no.
Tell you no if I want to.
I did not want to cut this wide.
You gotta cut it as wide as the window.
Well, what we had to do was work it in before.
We're not cut it that wide, and
You know, what we wound up doing on this one is we cut it just a little bit wider on each side, and we had to just kind of work it back and forth until we got it all of it behind there. around here, a real carpenter, he'd tell me I don't know what the hell I'm doing. He'd probably be right. So here goes nothing. Now, I'm going to take a quick break from filming while I make these cuts, just because nobody wants to take and hear me use words of profanity. So we'll be back in a moment after I cut this hole out. Alright, so I got my hole cut, I got my window socked in there with screws, and so now the real fun begins, getting this thing up here and getting it fitted in place. Got to slide this way. And get in at the top. Screwdriver. Gotta have a screwdriver in this because this hole is tight.
There you go.
Whoops. Want to come over that far with it. Not like it. I did not like how it's fitting.
Top.
Yeah, I still gotta get it. I gotta get
No, I
probably.
was talking about the way it's fitting over here, not the window.
Oh, man, talk about a nasty day to work.
Oh, it's only nasty because all the snow's melting.
Oh yeah, that makes it real fun. Cheap windows. How's it look down there? Can't really tell. It's about as good as it's gonna get. I ain't blocking it. Well, it's up there. Let's put some screws in it and call it a day on this one.
Stop it.
Now that I got this thing up here, I wanted to take you down here to show you a couple of things that we did to make this job somewhat easier. Right here, we put a 2x4 on the bottom of the foundation and ran it all the way to the other end, so that as we put these pieces of siding up here, we got something to sit there and hold it in place, so we're not sitting there having to fight with it and hold it and try to get it positioned. The other thing I did was, if you look down here, I've got pencil marks on the top of that 2x where every one of those studs are. And then that way you can come right up the seam and you can follow it up, and then that way you know exactly where the stud is behind there. Because you really don't want to sit there and start putting screws in this thing and just start knocking holes in it, and then you realize that ain't where the stud is.
Need to wrap it up, running low on battery.
Yeah. Whoops.
He missed or dropped the screw.
It happens, babe, you know. I got a couple of screws in there to at least hold it up for the time being, because heck, it'll take me 20-30 minutes to take stock all the screws in here that need to be in this thing. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up our video, because this is about as much as I intend to get done today. Fighting this weather and everything, it just, man, when you're not accustomed to cold weather, it just takes so much out of you that, well, I'm just about out of gas in the tank. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Once we get all the screws in this thing, I'll come around this thing, I'll put a good bead of silicone on it, and then we'll start. We want to get paint on this wood as quickly as we can here, because you don't want raw wood sitting out here getting exposed to the weather. So that's going to be coming up in the next couple of videos there. So we do appreciate you watching our little winter wonderland cabin build. And remember to hit that notification bell, and be sure and give us a thumbs up. That's what makes our channel grow, is giving us thumbs up, and maybe leave a comment there in the description, good or bad, as long as it's nice. We appreciate you watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.